Usually I start with derivatives, then I take up application of derivatives, and then I move on to this topic called integration. Here, now, first I'll quickly revise the formulae with you all, and then I'll take up the sums in the order in which they have been given in the given by the board. Now, first of all, remember integration is antiderivative, so is it is exactly opposite of. I forgot to ask, how many of you have a doubt in continuity? Do you have continuity for your syllabus? No, okay. Continuity is not. Yeah. Here, integration is antiderivative. That means if derivative of x is 1, integration of 1 is x. So I had given you a few formulae for the same. Whenever you try to recollect the formula of integration, just think derivative of what is this term. Here, integration of 1, derivative of what is 1? It can be x or y or z depending on the differential given here. Suppose I write here dx, then it is x. I write here dy, this would be y. I write here dz, this would be z. This plus c, because whenever you get indefinite integration, you will get a plus c term. Now remember, what is the difference between definite integration and indefinite integration? In definite integration, it is defined. It is defined between the lower value and the upper value. In indefinite integration, it is not defined between two limits. If it is definite integration, it would be defined between two limits, whereas if it is indefinite integration, it won't be defined between two limits. Now, having said this, the other formulae are also same based on this itself. I told you what is integration of x raised to n. You have to think derivative of what is x raised to n. Now, derivative of x raised to n is n into x raised to n minus 1. Your integration of x raised to n would be x raised to n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus c. Here, if it would have been ax plus b, and if this is linear, that means if the power is not if the power is not more than 1, if the power is 1 itself, then you can treat this as x. You can write this as x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, and then the x coefficient has to be divided here. Next, having said this, I'll give you an example here. Suppose I say 3 plus 5x raised to 4. Then this is linear because the power of x within the bracket is 1. So this is linear. I can treat this as x. This would become 3 plus 5x raised to the number plus 1 divided by number plus 1 over here, and then into this coefficient. Suppose this is 3 plus 2x, then this would become 2x, and this would be into 2, and there would always be a constant associated with it. Now, what is integration of 1 upon x? Remember, this formula is valid for all values of n except for n equal to minus 1. Now, when n is minus 1, you have to use this formula instead of using this, because minus 1 plus 1 would become 0, which would render the denominator 0, and that would make the answer infinity. 1 upon x. Derivative of what is 1 upon x? It is log x. Always write the log terms within mod. So it is log of mod x plus c. Here, if I say 1 upon x squared dx, integration of 1. Who is this Sahil in this group? Who is Sahil in this group? Yeah, 1 upon x square dx. Derivative of what is 1 upon x square? It is minus 1 by x. Derivative of 1 upon x is minus 1 by x square. So integration of 1 upon x square is minus 1 by x plus c. Now, similarly, what is integration of dx upon 2 root x? Derivative of what is 1 upon 2 root x? It is root x. So if you have 1 upon 2 root x, it would be root x plus c. Now remember, in integration, you can always multiply and divide with a number outside and within the integral, but you cannot multiply and divide with an x term outside and within the integral. That means here you can multiply and divide within and outside. This two can be multiplied here and divided here. Whereas in case of x, you cannot multiply x here, divide x within the integral. You cannot do that. Dx upon 2 root x is root x plus c. Then the next formula, integration of a raised to x dx. If you are asked derivative of a raised to x, it is a raised to x into log a. If you are asked integration of a raised to x, it is a raised to x upon log a plus c. Similarly, integration of e raised to x would be e raised to x upon log e, but log e is 1. So therefore, it is e raised to x plus c. Then you don't have sine, cos, tan formulae here, but I had asked you to by heart one formula. I don't remember which formula was that. That was in definite integrations. You had some formula in definite integration. When I come to those sums, I'll let you know about the same. I had asked you to by heart one formula. Who is Sahil from our group? Was there any student called Sahil in our group? Yeah, here. Integration of e raised to x is e raised to x plus c. Next. Remember, if you have constant into some function of x, you can take that constant out and integrate the function of x. So this would become k out, integration of f dash x, that would be f of x. So you will get k into f of x plus c. Now these are the basic formulae that you have to by heart. Apart from them, you have to by heart a few more formulae. Uh, the next one to be by hearted is integration of, if you are given f dash x upon f of x, that is, if numerator is the derivative of the denominator, the answer would be log of denominator plus c. If numerator is the derivative of the root term, then the answer would be twice of denominator plus c. I gave you an example here. I told you if it is, say, 2x here, or let me say x here, and this is the derivative of this term, then I can say it is log of denominator plus c. Here I gave you an example. I told you if it is 1 upon root x dx, then you can multiply and divide with 2 here. As I said, you can multiply and divide with a number here. So 1 upon 2 root x. Now this integration of 1 upon 2 root x is root x. So you will get 2 root x plus c. So this is the integral value of 1 upon root x. When you use this formulae, it is 2 times root x plus c, or else you can use this formula directly to say this is x and this is its derivative. So the answer is 2 times denominator plus c. Both these are the same. Next, if you have f of x raised to n and besides it you have its derivative, then this would be f of x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1 plus c. Now here, remember, if you have x cube raised to 5 and this is 3x square dx, then you can say it is x cube raised to 5 plus 1, 6 upon 6 plus c is the answer. You can get this even by substitution method. You can say let x cube be t and you can solve this to get the value. I'll come to that part later, but this is the formula for f of x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. Now, apart from this, there are a few more formulae that have to be by hearted. Here, I told you there are various combinations of dx with x square and a square. These are the different combinations that we have. There are 6 such combinations present. Now here, remember, this one is the formula for sine inverse x. I had asked you to by heart it because this had appeared in definite integrations. Now, just remember derivative of sine inverse x is 1 upon root 1 minus x square. So dx upon root a square minus x square is sine inverse x by a plus c. This formula has been given in some of the colleges when they have given the definite integration question pertaining to this, but I am not sure whether they will be providing that even in the board exams. So it is better you by heart the same. Now, this is dx upon root a square minus x square. If instead of this you have dx upon a square plus x square, it is 1 upon a tan inverse x by a plus c. I don't think you have this formula in more than 1 or 2 questions in the entire textbook, but still it is better you by heart these two formulae. Now, once you are done with these two, just remember that these are the two formulae, the basic two formulae. Now, apart from this, whenever you get root, remember, if you have root, you will be getting log as the term for the same. So, instead of dx upon root a square minus x square, if you get root x square minus a square or root a square plus x square, you will get log as the term for the same. So dx upon root x square minus a square would give you log x plus root x square minus a square plus c, and dx upon root a square plus x square would be log x plus root x square plus a square plus c. Now remember, as far as your revision lectures are concerned, I'm not going to dwell into the depth of all the topics. I would be just touching upon the top all the topics, and I'll be doing the sums which have been given by the board. Now I am not going to deal in the depth. If you need topics in depth, I'll do it later after the revision is over, not before that. So only those who have a fair idea about these topics would be able to get these particular sums which I'm going to do better. So always revise the topics before you come for the lecture. Today you didn't know which topic I was going to take. So therefore, from the next lecture onwards, come prepared with integration. I'll keep you pre-informed about which topic I'm going to take on which date, so that you can give it a miss or you can sit for the same depending on whether you need it or not. Now, having said that there are two formulae for roots. Now, if it is not root, then also it is based on log itself. So that means apart from this, all the other formulae are based on log. So integration of dx upon x square minus a square would also be in terms of log. It would be log of, now if it is x square minus a square, write x minus a here, write x plus a here, and then here 1 upon 2a. Now remember, if x has a positive sign before that, you will get positive sign in the denominator. If x has a negative sign before it, write negative sign before it in the denominator. This would be the reverse of this particular sign. Now if I say dx upon a square minus x square, then it would be 1 by 2a. You will have log, this would be a minus a plus x upon a minus x. As I said, when x is preceded by minus, you will write minus over here. When x is preceded by plus, you will write plus over here. So these are the formulae that you have to study. Apart from this, there are three more formulae which have to be studied, which are also based on these formulae itself. Anyone wants to click a pic of these formulae, you can do so. I had given all these formulae when I taught you the same. Before I started with the sums, I had given you all these formulae, but you can take a pic of the same if you want. Else, you can just take it from the notes which I had given earlier. And remember, we don't have a lot of time at our dispense for to go into the depth of all the topics. So I'll be covering all the sums, but very fast as compared to what we had done earlier. It would be thrice or at 4 times the speed at which I covered when we had our normal lectures. Now, here, if you want the topic in detail, do keep me informed about it. I'll do something about it. Here, but provided you have attended the lecture earlier. It is not that you would have missed the lecture earlier and you want the topic once again. Here, if instead of x square and a square being in the denominator, you have x square and a square in the numerator, then you have three set of formulae: x square minus a square minus x square, and a square plus x square. Now, remember, the first term would be x upon 2 into this term itself. X upon 2 into this term itself. Then the second term would be a square upon 2 everywhere. This would be sine inverse x by a. I wouldn't have touched upon this if this wouldn't have appeared in the definite integration section. I think this formula is there in the definite integration section, and this is based on this: a square upon 2 sine inverse x by a square minus x square. This is the formula, sine inverse x by a. Now here in these two, if you observe here, this is root x square minus a square. If this would have been in the denominator, you would have got this formula. So it would have been log of x plus root x square minus a square. And here you would get log of x plus root a square plus x square. Now, this and the previous one have a bit of difference. It is that when you have here x followed by minus sign, put a minus over here. Otherwise, put a plus sign over here. So this would be plus and this would be plus. This would be minus. Now, you can derive this formula very well by multiplying with 1 and then using the u into v formula. once you have taken down this formula, we'll start with the sums. So if you have taken down this formula, we'll move on to the sums. Sure. Yeah, I had missed one more formula. It is e raised to x into f of x plus f dash x. If this is the derivative of this term, then, and if you have e raised to x besides it, the answer would be e raised to x into f of x plus c. Textbook of Maths 1. Come to exercise 5.1, page number 119. Exercise 5.1, page number 119. Now here, these are all questions from the sheet that has been provided by the board. Now here, question number 4. I equal to 3x square minus 5 the whole square dx. Now, if you observe, this is not linear. Therefore, you cannot treat this term as x. You cannot treat this term as x since it is not linear. And therefore, the only option left in front of you is to first expand this and then solve it individually. Now, when you expand this, you would be getting 3x square, that is 9x raised to 4, minus 2 into 5 into 3x square, that is 10 into 3, 30x square, and this would be plus 25 dx. When there is a plus or minus sign in between, you can individually integrate. So you would be getting your 9x raised to 4 dx minus 30x square dx plus 25 dx. Now take 9 out, you will get integration of x raised to 4 dx minus 30 out, integration of x square dx plus 25 out, integration of dx. Why did I take this out? Because when you have a number along with the next term, you can take the number out and integrate the x term. Now this is in the form x raised to n. So you would get x raised to n plus 1 by n plus 1. Here you will get x raised to n plus 1 by n plus 1. This is 25. Integration of 1 is x and this would be c. So this would be tensor. Have you followed this? This is how you solve this particular problem. Second one is the fifth question of page 119. It is I equal to dx upon x into x minus 1. Now write here a note. In fact, I would have given you this note when I taught this for the first time. I would have given you a note that this cannot be treated as x because this is not linear. I would have given you this note. Now here, x into x minus 1. Remember, when the power of x is same within and outside the bracket, when the power of x is same within and outside the bracket, split the numerator in terms of the denominator. Now, how do you split the numerator in terms of the denominator? Here, this is 1. You need to get 1 here using these two terms. Now, the difference between these two terms is 1. So, what I'll do is I'll subtract the 2 so that I get 1 here. How do I go about it? I'll write here x minus 1, and this is nothing but x and x gets cancelled. This is plus 1 upon x into x minus 1 dx. Now I can solve it separate. So I would be getting x upon x into x minus 1, and here I would be getting x minus 1 divided by x into x minus 1 dx. Now these two get cancelled, this gets cancelled. You have 1 upon x minus 1. Remember, this can be treated as an x term because this is linear. Since this is linear, you can treat it as an x term. 1 upon x dx would be derivative integration of what is 1 upon x? Derivative of what is 1 upon x? Log x. So you would be getting log x minus 1. Now you treated this as x. So you have to divide by the coefficient of x. Here there is no coefficient of x, so it is 1 minus, this is 1 upon x. Again you will get log x plus c. So log of a minus log of b. So this would be log x minus 1 divided by x plus c. This is the answer for the second one. Now, from the board sheet, question number 3, eighth problem. It is 3 raised to 2x plus 3. I told you it is in the form of number raised to x term. Number raised to x term. You can treat this as x term because this is linear. This is linear, and hence you can treat this as x term. What is integration of a raised to x? It is a raised to x, a raised to x upon log a, and then divide by the coefficient of x. So it is 2 plus c. This is the value, a raised to x. You have treated it as. Similarly, the ninth question of question 3 is where they have given e raised to 4x minus 7 dx. Now this is in the form of e raised to x. So integration of e raised to x is e raised to x itself. You will get e raised to 4x minus 7. Now divided by the coefficient of the term which you treated as x. So 4 and here plus c. This is the ninth question. Then the 10th question is root of 1 plus x square into x dx. Now always remember, I told you, if you have a term within root and its derivative outside, or if you have a fractional term with its derivative outside, what is derivative of 1 plus x square? It is 2x. You need 2 here. So we can divide and multiply by 2. Now what would you get over here? You will get root of, you will get here 1 plus x square raised to half, and here you will get x. I can multiply and divide this with 2. So I would be getting here 1 upon 2, and this would be 2x. Now this is the function raised to n plus 1, n, and this is f dash x. So I can write this as half x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1, and here plus c. So this would be half, this is 3 by 2. 1 plus x square raised to 3 by 2. This is 3 by 2. gets cancelled here, plus c. So this is the final answer, 1 plus x square raised to 3 by 2 upon 3. These three questions are a part of true or false. You can see question number 3, this is 8, 9 and 10. These two are from question number 4. Question number 4, 1 and 2. Next. And I'm telling you, this is, I'm not sure whether they'll be asking from this itself, but I'm taking a risk here because since this was a corona year, therefore, we can expect these questions. Otherwise, generally, I don't believe in all these questions which have been given. In fact, the board has put up a note there that you are not supposed to rely completely on this. But since they have given some questions, I'm taking it up. Next one is question number 5th, the 10th part of board paper, board questions. And this is exercise 5.1, question number 8. Sorry, question number 7. F dash x is 4x cube minus 3x square plus 2x plus k. They have given you f of 0 is 1. They have mentioned f of 1 is 4, and they have asked you to find f of x. Here, remember, derivative of f of x is f dash x. So integration of f dash x is f of x. So what I'll do here is I'll write f of x is integration of f dash x dx. So this would be integration of f dash x is 4x cube minus 3x square plus 2x plus k dx. Now, if you observe here, there is a plus or minus sign in between, so we can integrate individually. You would get 4x cube dx minus 3x square dx plus 2x dx plus k dx. I'll integrate them individually. I'll be getting 4 here, integration of x cube dx, minus 3 here, integration of x square dx, plus 2 here, integration of x dx, and plus k here, integration of 1. Now, my f of x, therefore, would be 4 into x raised to 4 by 4. This would be x raised to 3 by 3. This would be 2x square by 2. This would be k into integration of 1 is x, and this would be c. This and this gets cancelled. This and this gets cancelled. This is f of x. Now, they have given you the value of f of 0 is 1. When I put f of 0, x is 0, you get 0 minus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus c. F of 0 is given to be 1. So 1 is the value of c. Now, I put the value of c as 1. I get f of x equal to I get f of x equal to x raised to 4 minus x cube plus x square plus kx plus 1. This is f of x. Now, f of 1 is given to be 4. I'll put x equal to 1. When x is 1, I get f of 1 is equal to 1 minus 1 plus k plus 1. This and this gets cancelled. F of 1 is 4. So I get k plus 2 here. Therefore, k is 2. So therefore, my f of x would be this term, x raised to 4 minus x cube plus x square plus 2x plus c is 1. Now remember, I'm doing it fast, so there may be some chances of some mistakes in some of the answers over here. You can always cross-verify it with the solution that we had done in class. That would be the exact one because we had done it very slow. We had verified the answer from behind also for each of the problems. Here, I'm just mentioning the method so that you get a quick recap of what we had covered earlier. Now, this is exercise 5.1, question number 7th. Next, I take up question number 4, the third part. One upon x log x dx. This has been taken from exercise 5.2, the fourth question. Now, if you observe here, this is 1 upon x log x. We know that the derivative of log x is 1 upon x. So what I'll do over here is I'll write 1 upon x here and I'll write log x in the denominator. Derivative of denominator is the numerator. And when the derivative of denominator is the numerator, when derivative of denominator is the numerator, I can say the answer is log of denominator plus c.
Sir,
Yeah, say.
exercise 5.2 fourth sum is something different.
Exercise 5.2, sorry, sixth question. 5.2 sixth question.
So no, that 1 upon x log s is which one?
Yeah, 1 upon x log x is the sixth
Ah,
question of exercise 5.2.
okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, I missed it by oversight. So here, next one. Yeah, exercise, this is question number 5, the seventh part. I equal to 1 plus x upon x plus e raised to minus x dx. Here, if you observe, this is 1 plus x and here you have x plus e raised to minus x. Now, if I would have, I can write this as 1 upon e raised to x. I'll get e raised to x in the numerator and I'll get e raised to x into x plus 1 here. Now, that would give me, if I make the coefficient, make the index of e positive, I'll be getting x plus 1 upon e raised to x here. Now, this would give me e raised to x 1 plus x here, and this would be x e raised to x plus 1 divided by e raised to x. This goes up, it becomes uh, e raised to x into 1 plus x upon x e raised to x plus 1 dx. Now, if you observe here, derivative of this is, if I take derivative of x e raised to x plus 1, I would be getting derivative of this plus derivative of this. So, this would be x into derivative of e raised to x plus e raised to x into derivative of x. So that would be x into e raised to x plus e raised to x, which is same as the numerator here. If I multiply it inside, I would be getting x e raised to x plus e raised to x here, and I would be getting x into e raised to x plus 1 here. So derivative of denominator is the numerator, and therefore the answer is log of denominator plus c. Log of denominator plus c. This is question number 5, the seventh part, and this is uh, exercise 5.2, question number 4. Remember, in my paper, I would be asking questions even from outside this. I won't stick to these questions as such. I'll be not putting the solved examples. Other than that, I would be putting any question from anywhere. You can prepare from this for the board, but I won't like you to take a complete chance with it. Don't go only with this preparation. Prepare even the other questions. Yes, you can study this well because this has been given by the board. Question number 5, the 8th part, and this is incidentally question number exercise 5.2, question number 2. I equal to x cube dx upon root of 1 plus x raised to 4. Now, whenever you see an x term with some power and x term with one power less than that, first thing that should come to your mind is the other one is the derivative of the first one. That means if you have x raised to 4 and x cube, then one is the derivative of the other. X raised to 5 and x raised to 4, one is the derivative of the other. X raised to 8 and x raised to 7, one is the derivative of the other. So here you have x raised to 4, here you have x cube. That means derivative of this is somewhere related to this. 1 plus x raised to 4. When you derivate, you should get 4x cube. So multiply and divide with 4. You will get 4x cube dx divided by root of 1 plus x raised to 4. Now this is f of x and this is f dash x. So derivative of this term is this, but there is a root here. So the answer would be 1 upon 4 into twice root 1 plus x raised to 4 plus c. All those children who want to score a full, remember you have to clarify the formula over here. Justify the formula. F dash x upon root f of x is twice root f of x plus c. You have to justify the formula over there. Yeah, remember question number 1, the first part. I'm going exercise wise so that you can prepare well for your examination through this. Uh, Question number 1, the first part, is also based on the sums of this type itself. I'm not able to find it, locate it. This is dx upon root 1 minus x. Now, if you observe, this is linear and therefore I can treat this as an x term. So 1 upon root x. This is f of x and its derivative is f dash x. Now for f dash x to be its derivative, you should have minus 1 here. So what I'll do is, I'll write here first 1 upon minus 1 into minus 1 dx upon root 1 minus x, so that this is f dash f of x and this is its derivative. So the answer would be minus of, now it is f dash x upon root f of x. So it would be 2 root 1 minus x plus c. Followed?
सर ये वाला वापिस एक्सप्लेन करो ना, समझा नहीं.
Here. This is, I can treat this as x term. Why? Because this is linear. If
Yes,
it is
sir.
linear, I can treat this as x term. Followed?
Yes.
Why is this linear? Highest power is 1. Now, what is the derivative of 1 minus x?
1.
Minus 1.
हाँ, -1.
Followed?
Yes, yes.
Derivative of 1 minus x is minus 1. So what I have done is, I have multiplied and divided with minus 1. Followed?
Yes.
Now, this becomes the derivative of this term. And if this is the derivative of this term, it is 2 times denominator. The formula is f dash x upon root f of x. Would be twice denominator. Followed?
Okay, sir.
Similar to this, you have one more sum. It is the second question of, the second sub question of first question. It is integration of root 1 plus x dx. Now, you can treat this as root of x, or you can say it is 1 plus x raised to half. Now, since this is x raised to n, you can say it would be x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1 plus c. And the coefficient of x is 1, so it would be 1 over here. This would be 2 by 3 into 1 plus x raised to 3 by 2 plus c. Come to question number 7 of question number 1. Question number 1, sub question 7. I'm doing problems of each type. That is, first I'm dealing with exercise 1, then I'm dealing with exercise 2. I've taken sums of exercise 1 and 2 together now. Now this is 1 upon x plus 1 upon x the whole cube dx. So how do you solve it? If it is x plus 1 upon x the whole cube, you cannot treat this as x now, because when you cross multiply, this would become x square. So you cannot treat it as x. Now what we'll do is, we'll use the formula a plus b the whole cube. What is a plus b the whole cube? It is a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square. The power of a goes on decreasing, the power of b goes on increasing. So this would be x cube plus 3 into this would become x square into first term square into 1 upon x, then plus 3 into x into 1 upon x square, and this would be 1 upon x cube. Now this would be x and x gets cancelled, x gets cancelled with x. Now this would be x cube dx plus 3 integration of x dx plus 3 integration of 1 upon x dx plus integration of 1 upon x cube dx. Now what is integration of x cube? It is x raised to 4 by 4. What is integration of x? It is x raised to 1, so it would be x square by 2. This would be log x, and this would be x raised to 3. When it goes up, it becomes x raised to minus 3, so it would be x raised to minus 2 upon minus 2 plus c. So this would be, the remaining terms are same. This would be minus 1 upon 2, and here in the denominator you will get x square plus c. This is 3 log x. This is 3 by 2 x square, and this would be x raised to 4 by 4. Question number 1, the eighth part, e raised to 2x plus e raised to minus 2x upon e raised to x dx. How do you solve it? Divide both by e raised to x. So you will get e raised to 2x upon e raised to x, that is e raised to x. Here when you take it up, it becomes minus 3x. And now individually integrate the 2. When you integrate the first term, integration of e raised to x is e raised to x. Integration of e raised to x is e raised to x divided by minus 3 plus c. So this would be e raised to x minus 1 upon 3 e raised to 3x plus c. One minus x raised to minus 2. You can treat this as x. So this would be x raised to n. Since this is x raised to n, you would get only for x raised to minus 1, that formula is not valid. Otherwise, this would be valid. So x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1 into the coefficient of x plus c. So this would be 1 upon 1, and here this would be 1 minus x, and this would be plus c. Or you can say even this is same as this. Now, whenever you get higher powers, remember when you get higher powers, take that term as t. That means this x plus 1 would be t. If x plus 1 is t, then x would be t minus 1. Substitute that and then solve it further. So this would be x plus 1 equal to t.
सर ऊपर वाले टर्म को x plus 1 the whole cube भी लिख सकते हैं ना?
Yes, वो एक ज़्यादा अच्छा method है. This can be x plus 1 the whole cube. So this would be x plus 1 raised to 5. So this would be 1 upon x plus 1 the whole square dx. Now this can be treated as x. So this would be 1 upon x square. So it is minus 1 upon x plus 1 plus c, and then divide by the coefficient of x, that is 1 itself. So it would be minus 1 upon x plus 1 plus c. Next. If you see question number 2, the first, second, third, fourth part are all formulae based till the fifth one. Now integration, I am just doing it quickly. 1 upon x dx integration is derivative of what is 1 upon x? Log x. So log mod x plus c. Then integrate. The second one is a formulae. Dx upon x square minus a square. I told you when you have multiple terms, except for the first two formulae, all are based on log. So this is 1 upon 2a log. Now you write here xa, and then this is plus. So you write here plus, this is minus plus c. Third one, here this is 7x plus 9 raised to 13 dx. So this can be treated as x. When you have x raised to n, it would be x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1 into the coefficient of x plus c. Fourth one, 5 raised to 6x plus 9. You can treat this term as x over here because this is linear. Now what is a raised to x? It is a raised to x upon log a into the x coefficient, that is 6 plus c. So this should be the answer for the same. Now coming to the eighth question of question 2. F dash x is given to be 1 upon x plus x. F of 1 is given to be 5 by 2. They have asked you what is f of x. Now remember, f dash x is the derivative of f of x. So therefore integration of f dash x would be equal to f of x. So what is this equal to? It is 1 upon x plus x dx. Now integration of 1 upon x is log x, and integration of x would be x square. This is x raised to 1. So it would be x square by 2 plus c. This is f of x. Now we know that f of 1 is 5 by 2. So f of 1 is equal to log of 1. Replace x with 1. 1 upon 2 and c here. F of 1 is 5 by 2. This is log 1, which is 0. This is half and this is c. So c is 5 by 2 minus half. So it is c is 4 by 2, that is 2. Therefore f of x is, you substitute this 2 over here, you get f of x equal to log mod x plus x square by 2 plus 2. Here, question number 2 itself, the ninth part, they have asked you for the proper substitution. Now this is 1 plus log x upon x dx. Remember, if you substitute log x, you get 1 upon x dx as dt. But the right substitution would be 1 plus log x as t, because when you put 1 plus log x as t, 1 upon x dx would be dt. You will get t dt. So here, proper substitution is 1 plus log x as t, not log x as t. Now, when you take 1 plus log x as t, you get differentiate with respect to x. You get derivative of x is 1. This is 1 upon x. And this is dt by dx. So, dx by x is dt. Now, that means this is dt. 1 plus log x is t. So, t here, dt here. So, this is t raised to 1. This is t raised to 2 by 2 plus c. And what is t here? It is 1 plus log x, the whole square upon 2 plus c. Now they haven't asked you to solve it. They have only asked you for the substitution part. They have asked you only for the substitution part, but I have carried it further.
Sir,
Yeah, say
in eighth sum, what will come in the blank?
what would come in the blank. What is the blank? log x plus x square by 2. This should have been 2. That c shouldn't have been there.
Okay, sir.
Hold on, that c shouldn't have been there. It should have been 2.
So in the ninth sum, we write only 1 plus log x equal to 2, right?
Yes, you need to write only 1 plus log x. The proper substitution is 1 plus log x equal to t. These are fill in the blank questions. I just solved it further because if it comes for your normal one also, you should be able to solve it. Yes. Here, similarly, come to question number 3, the sixth part. F dash x is 3x square plus 2x, and they have asked you to find f of x. Now this is f dash x, so f of x is integration of f dash x, because derivative of f of x is this. Now integration of f dash x means that it is 3x square plus 2x dx. So it is 3x square dx plus 2x dx. Now, for those children who are not able to keep in pace with me while I am writing, remember, I'll put this up as a recording, and I'll give every one of you access to all the recorded lectures, so that in case you want to practice these sums which have been given by board, you can always refer to the video lectures. I'll give you all access to the same. Now, integration of 3x square is 3x cube by 3. This is 2x square by 2, and this is c. So this and this gets cancelled, 2 gets cancelled here. This would be x cube plus x square plus c. The next one is where, seventh one, where you have f of x as k, and they have asked you to find integration of k dx. Now, k is a constant. So if k is a constant, you will take k out, integration of 1 dx. So this should have been kx. If k is a non-zero constant, it won't be 0. So remember, this should have been kx plus c. It is not equal to 0. Then the next type of sum is where you have, yeah, I'll make this the last type of sum. This is exercise 3. For today, I'll make this the last type of sum. Tomorrow onwards, I'll take for full 2 hours. Here, exercise 5.3, question number 4. It is I equal to 2 e raised to x plus 5 upon 2 e raised to x plus 1 dx. And this is incidentally the fourth question of question 4 of board questions. The ones which I did so far till this sum, they were all from first or second exercise. I'm not sure where the sums lie. It would be either the first and the second exercise, or it would be miscellaneous related to the first and second exercise. I am not able to locate it right now, because in that process I'll lose a lot of time. So I haven't gone after that. Now, if at all you're not able to locate it, do let me know. But those were the type of problems that were of exercise 5.1 and 5.2. Now I'm moving on to exercise 5.3. Here you have problems of the type a e raised to x plus b. That means you'll have e raised to x plus b, and you will have some other term in the denominator c e raised to x plus d. Now what you need to do is write numerator in terms of a into denominator and plus b into derivative of denominator. This is exercise 5.3. Now I take up one question from there, that is 2e raised to x plus 5 upon 2e raised to x plus 1. The numerator is 2e raised to x plus 5. You have to write that in terms of a into denominator. That means a into this term plus a into denominator, plus you have to write b into derivative of denominator. What is derivative of denominator? It is 2e raised to x, and derivative of 1 is 0. Now, when I solve this, I'll get 2e raised to x plus 5 equal to 2a e raised to x plus 2b e raised to x, and I'll get plus a here separate. Now, if you observe here, the coefficient 2e raised to x is common here, and this is a plus b, this is plus a. Now, this is 2e raised to x plus 5. If you observe here, next to 2e raised to x, you have a plus b. So that means a plus b is 1. 2 into e raised to x into 1 is 2 into e raised to x into a plus b, and a is 5. A is 5. So have you followed this particular part, everyone? So this would be a plus b equal to 1 and a equal to 5. Now when you solve this, you will get 5 plus b equal to 1. Therefore, b equal to minus 4. Now once you have a and b here, instead of a here and b here, replace it with this term. So what do you get here? I would be equal to, in place of this numerator, I'll write a, that is 5 into denominator, that is 2e raised to x plus 1. Then in place of b, I'll write minus 4 into derivative of denominator, that is 2e raised to x, divided by, I'll write here 2e raised to x plus 1. Now you can check whether you have got the same result or not. What is 5 into 2e raised to x? That is 10, minus 8 e raised to x is 2e raised to x, 5, and then no other term. So this is how you solve it. Now once you have done this, the problem becomes simple. This is 2e raised to x plus 1 upon 2e raised to x plus 1, that is one term, and then minus 4. This would be 2e raised to x upon 2e raised to x plus 1. Now if you observe, this is the same term as denominator, gets cancelled, you get 5x here, and this would be derivative of the denominator. So this is f dash x, this is f of x. So you will get minus 4 into log of 2e raised to x plus 1 plus c. Followed? So with this, I put an end to today's lecture. If you have any doubts, stay back in the conference. Others can leave. Have a nice day, everyone.
हाँ,
Yeah, Darshil.
सर आप वो बोल रहे थे ना पहले कि मतलब आप इंटीग्रेशन में थोड़े सम्स दोगे उस वो प्रैक्टिस करना वगैरह.
इंटीग्रेशन में हाँ, मैं एक्चुअली अलग ही तरीके से करवाने वाला था, लेकिन ये लोग ने बोर्ड ने क्वेश्चंस दे दिया है, तो आई एम थिंकिंग ऑफ डूइंग इट द सेम वे इन विच दे हैव गिवन.
सर क्योंकि आप पहले बोल रहे थे कि मतलब आप एक सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चन दोगे वो करो तो अच्छा रहेगा वैसे सब इसके लिए.
राइट, मैंने तो वैसे पूरा एक्सरसाइज करवा दिया है. ये अभी जो है ना, मैं एक्सरसाइज वाइज करवा रहा हूँ जो बोर्ड ने करवाया है. कोई कोई बच्चे हैं जिन्होंने मेरे को बोला है कि दे वांट ऑल द क्वेश्चंस ऑफ बोर्ड व्हिच हैव बीन गिवन बाय द प्रोवाइडेड बाय द बोर्ड. रुको रुको, मैं जरा बात करता हूँ.
ओके सर.
Yeah, Darshil. Yeah, you were saying something. Yeah, bolo.
सर वही कि मतलब आप बोल रहे थे कि एक